What's up? What's up, all my viewers and fans and friends all alike and gamers and such? What a world, what a day, what a life. I have been absent for so long. I hope I didn't worry anyone. So I know it's been a while since I made my last video. That was many years ago. Well, I would say a couple of years ago, but suffice to say, I have been out of it, so I haven't been making any progress on my channel, but that's all changing now that I have everything set up. So if you've been patiently waiting, so I really apologize for the hiatus and everything. But I've been through a lot. I've been I don't know how to describe it, what I've been going throughout my personal life at work, and absorbed in the internet with some crazy stuff happening in our country, and you know, everyone's been following the politics, and I have been too absorbed, and I just couldn't let go of anything happening, and I really needed to know, and like, how was it going to affect me. But I'm not going to bore you or trouble you with any of my antics or problems and such. I'm here to tell you that I am coming back to make content finally with video games and console cretins and other stuff that I wanted to try out. I have been talking a lot about ideas I wanted to do with my channel. I wanted to talk about movies and video games and anime and cartoons and such. I'm gonna try and do all that as best as I can. I've just been trying so hard to figure out how I wanted to do this. There's a lot of YouTube channels out there that already exist regarding video games and reviewing movies and talking about anime so much, and I just didn't know how I could. I don't know how I could do something different from what everyone has been doing, because like everyone basically has done the same thing. That I thought, how can I be different from everybody? And like, I don't know. So I think I tried too hard. There was just so many things I wanted to try that I was really enamored and inspired. But like, for example, when I was watching the Nostalgia Critic review a movie the way he did, I think his content is pretty creative. Also, it seems pretty simple when you want to review a movie with you in front of the camera and take clips from the movie that you talk over it. And that's the idea I got when I wanted to do my Godzilla counter review. And it seemed like so much work. It took me 5 years to do on my own. I didn't have any help. I didn't have any idea how to go about this, so I had to research on my own, not just about the movie, but how to counter the arguments he made, because I was never an expert on debating or carrying an argumentative conversation with someone about a movie, because you know, they all had valid points that I just didn't know how to top, and I didn't want to lose, so I wanted to really make a solid claim that, you know, the movie is not just something I like. You know, I wanted to have more reason to defend it than just, you know, I personally like it, because that just wasn't enough for me to say, you know, this movie's great. Yeah, I mean, I can like a movie, but how is it gonna appease other people when they didn't like the movie to begin with? So I had to come up with so many reasons on why I wanted to defend the movie Godzilla, and it was a lot to work on, seriously. And I wanted this to be perfect, and it took me so long to do, not just because I wanted it to be good, but I wanted it to be a very well thought out, creative way to make a video review, a movie review, just like how the Nostalgia Critic does it, but just my way, you know. So it's a counter review of how I defended the movie, but I didn't know how to begin, so I thought, you know, it was my first review ever, and I thought, you know, if this is going to be the start of my show, I wanted to start up as an impact, you know, because, you know, other shows that when they start out, they have their own way of introducing themselves, and I wanted to be creative my own way, so I didn't know how. So the first time I tried to do like a teaser trailer, I went to a friend's house, and he had a bunch of DVDs, and I wanted to I don't know, but the first idea that came to me was, let's make it rain a pile of DVDs. It's like indicating that all these movies I want to talk about, and there's so many of them that a lot of people didn't like, and I thought, you know, we'll just make it rain all these DVDs on this bed pile. Like, holy crap, that's a lot of movies, because I know, like, it's like raining candy. Like, oh my gosh, there's so much candy that you don't know where to go, and then there's all these movies. I couldn't really top it good, but dropping one by one, it was like, that's the best I can do. But I don't know, I kind of liked it. But I used the soundtrack from the 1985 film to make it feel impactful. But I didn't know how good it was going to be, so I did the best I can. And it was a teaser trailer, and I put in some of the nostalgia critics' annoying rants and claims and stuff. You know, he's basically such a narcissistic, screeching little guy that just, you know, can't take too seriously on things like that. You know, this doesn't feel like a nostalgia critic review. It's just something about him being a narcissistic critic. That's why I couldn't stand him, you know. So I mean, when I saw his review of how he trashed Godzilla in '98, I was so mad when I saw it, because I really didn't really want to believe that. But he wasn't the first I saw when he was trashing Godzilla in '98. The first one I saw was Angry Video Game Nerd. This wasn't about a video game. It was James Rolfe breaking down about why the movie does not deserve to be called Godzilla, even though it bears the title. But the first time I heard him say that was in Angry Video Game Nerd episode, when he was talking about the Godzilla video games. So he said that there were only 2 movies released in the US. It was '85 and 2000, and he says the 1998 version doesn't count. And I was like, what? So I just, there's no way I could let that go. So when I listened to his Godzilla-thon, Monster Madness, then I started to understand small pieces, but it was just so hard for me to accept, like, oh, come on, it can't be that bad. But I just didn't understand the lore of Godzilla to begin with, so I had to do my research, just like everyone should, and understand the creature itself, the mythical, fictional character, and what was the big deal about it. And yeah, so I can understand there's some parts of it, but I just, you know, I still held on so much to the Godzilla film that I just wanted to defend it so bad, and so I got the idea that I wanted to defend it after I saw the Nostalgia Critic review, and I, you know, just wanted to counter my argument, because I just didn't think his review was fair, you know. And you know, there's some stuff that he pointed out that, you know, as a typical movie reviewer said, and I wanted to break it down into my own research and just talk about it in such depth and detail. And I was really proud of myself when I bought a bunch of books and looked up online and read some more, and then talked to people. And yeah, I thought, you know, this could be an idea to put together. And then I spent so much time, like, putting this project together, because the hardest part for me is when you make a review in a movie edit, you want to specify what kind of clips to put in order, and also what kind of topics you talk about that's gonna line up on how you're talking about, you know, some topics. So it was just so time consuming, and still it was like, it was new to me, and I had to learn on my own. And some special effects I wanted to do was the hardest part. So like when you're learning how to do some editing in like Sony Vegas, and you want a specific tool and you don't know what to call it, then how are you going to find it? So I had to describe this tool I'm looking for on like a forum, and it was so tiring that I had to wait a day for someone to see, because, you know, their schedule is different from mine, and they could reply like the next day, and then I had to wait another day, and then ask another question if I didn't get it, and I had to wait another day, and shit. You know, it was just a nightmare for me. It was so frustrating, and I didn't have any help here, because nobody really knew how to do it, and you know, it was just me. So that's why it took me so long to do it. But that was the first video I did on my channel, that I wanted it to start with talking about movies before I talk about video games. But you know, I put my channel off for a long time after that, because it was just so much work. And then, you know, I just started to build up my room with so many games that I just bought so much with my money. You know, it was crazy.